Okay, so you're saying we need to dive into the Urantia book,
Yeah.
specifically paper 51
Yeah.
for this deep dive. And this
That's
is not going to be a
certainly-
simple one.
This is, it's a dense
It's a
cosmology,
Okay.
but it's fascinating.
So the Urantia book, it doesn't just say, okay, here's evolution, and that's it. It kind of throws in this idea of almost like guided evolution.
Right. Yeah, it's not random chance
Right.
that got us here.
It's suggesting
There's a plan.
there's a whole plan.
There's a plan with a capital P,
Okay.
and there are beings of a higher order who kind of act like, I don't know,
Like cosmic directors.
Cosmic directors.
But this whole thing.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, less Darwin, more like divine intervention. I don't know, but I'm intrigued already. And I think, to really unpack this, we kind of have to start with this whole picture of the universe that the Urantia book lays out.
Yeah, well, the Urantia book, it really lays out this massive cosmology.
Yeah.
But I think for our deep dive here, it's good to focus on what it calls material suns.
Okay.
And they're kind of key to this whole operation.
Material suns. Is that like a cosmic boy band sent here to, like, what do they call it? Uplift us with their music?
I mean, they're not here to lay down any tracks.
Okay.
But they are tasked with
No.
helping planets
Oh,
like
no,
ours
no.
reach their full potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they are like cosmic gardeners.
Yeah.
That's
They're like
fun.
cosmic gardeners or biological uplifters.
Biological uplifters. So these material suns, they're like the ultimate personal trainers for a planet of, well, in this case, humans.
Yeah, you could say that.
That's a big job.
It is a big job. And it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
Because the Urantia book, it claims that these Adams and Eves, as it calls them,
Right.
they're not from the planets they're assigned to.
Okay.
They're actually from a place called Jerusalem,
Okay.
which is like this, it's like their system headquarters.
Wait, so you're telling me Adam and Eve weren't even from Earth. They were sent here.
They were sent here
From another planet.
from this place,
Wow.
Jerusalem.
Talk about culture shock.
It's like their training ground, and
Yeah.
they're the offspring of even higher beings. So
Oh, my goodness.
they're special.
So it was like a whole process. They were
Oh.
bred for this.
They were chosen and prepared for this.
Wow.
The planning is mind-boggling.
That's a lot of pressure. Like, hey, you're going to go to Earth
Yeah.
and you're going to uplift these humans. I'd be like, wait a minute, I need to do a lot of research.
Yeah, I'd be hitting the cosmic textbooks pretty hard.
Right, exactly.
But,
Yeah.
the book also says that a lot of these missions don't go so well.
Really?
Yeah.
These cosmic gardeners, maybe their thumbs weren't so green after all.
Yeah, maybe not so much.
Okay, so let's talk about Earth specifically.
Okay.
Because the Urantia book, it really gets, I don't know, kind of radical, I guess you could say, when it comes to talking about Earth's history.
Yeah, it claims that there weren't just one root race on Earth, but 6.
6.
6 root races.
Wow.
And it names them by color.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm intrigued. What are the colors?
Red, orange, yellow.
Okay.
Green, blue, and indigo.
6 different. That's a far cry from what we learned in history class.
Yeah, it kind of throws a wrench in things.
It really does.
It rewrites human history.
That would be an interesting dinner party, though.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Like all 6?
Yeah, what would they talk about?
Exactly.
What would they eat?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm guessing, it wasn't all, like, peace and harmony, right? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't just this utopia of diversity.
No, the Urantia book doesn't really paint this rosy picture.
Okay.
It says that while each race had its own, strengths and weaknesses, some were more advanced than others. Particularly, it mentions the red, yellow, and blue races were the most capable
Okay.
intellectually,
Okay.
spiritually.
Okay.
And sadly, the book even hints at, power struggles and conflict.
Oh.
Some races even, enslaving others.
Wow. So it wasn't this perfect picture?
No.
Reality set in.
Yeah, exactly. A little more realistic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you've got these 6 different root races already on Earth.
Yeah.
And then Adam and Eve show up.
Right.
What was the point of that? If there were already humans here?
Yeah. So their mission was still to uplift humanity, to accelerate our evolution,
Okay.
but not start from scratch.
Right.
Remember, they weren't the first humans.
Right.
So the idea is they were supposed to intermingle with these existing races. So less about creating humans, more about, enhancing them in a way.
Yeah, you could see that.
Were they supposed to be genetic engineers to kind of, upgrade us?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The idea is that they intermingle.
Right.
They share their advanced lineage and knowledge.
Okay.
And it's supposed to create this new, even more advanced generation called the violet race.
The violet race, okay.
Yeah, so you're taking the best of all six,
right,
adding in Adam and Eve.
Yeah, like a recipe.
It's a recipe.
Yeah.
But things don't always go according to plan, right?
Never.
And the Urantia book really drives this home with this whole idea of the fall.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Okay.
But it's not what you think.
Okay. So we left off with this idea of Adam and Eve, these kind of cosmic gardeners, showing up on Earth with this mission to uplift humanity.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as just like, you know, sprinkling some magic cosmic dust and suddenly we're all enlightened beings.
It's a process.
So what did that look like? What was their game plan?
Well, the Urantia book really puts emphasis on a specific location.
Okay.
The Garden of Eden.
Okay, here we go. The Garden of Eden.
But forget any images you might have of a simple garden with apple trees.
Right, right.
This was no ordinary orchard.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay, so the Urantia book doesn't do anything simply. We know that by now.
Right.
So what made this Garden of Eden so special?
Imagine a sprawling center of knowledge.
Okay.
Innovation.
Okay.
A place where the most advanced technologies of the time were being developed and utilized not just for the benefit of a few, but for all of humanity.
So it was less about like lounging around and more about building an advanced civilization.
Yeah, a future-forward civilization for sure.
It sounds like, I don't know, a utopian society, like something out of a sci-fi novel, honestly.
That's a good way to put it. The Urantia book describes it as a place where, you know, knowledge flourished, art and culture thrived.
Right.
And social harmony was like paramount.
Okay, so this wasn't meant to be just like a temporary paradise.
No.
This was it. This was like the central hub.
The central hub.
For this new global civilization.
Exactly. Influencing the whole planet.
Okay, wow. So we're not just talking about like a garden.
No.
We're talking about like a global transformation project.
Yeah, a blueprint.
This was it.
This was the plan.
And Adam and Eve were like They
were tasked with guiding it.
Wow. Okay, so the stakes just got real.
Big time.
Like, no wonder the Urantia book makes such a big deal out of the fall.
Exactly, because it wasn't just about, like, you know, breaking a rule or disobeying an order. Right. It was about derailing this multi-generational plan, this carefully orchestrated evolution of an entire planet.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, who or what was responsible? Because that's a big jump.
Right.
To go from utopia to, well, whatever you want to call the state of the world today.
Yeah, no, it's quite a fall from grace, so to speak.
It really is.
Well, you know, we talked about that cosmic rebellion earlier.
Right.
With Lucifer.
Yeah.
And it turns out...
Oh, here we go.
One of his allies...
Okay.
A planetary prince named Caligastia...
had his sights set on Earth.
I thought he might be back.
He wanted to mess things up.
Right. Okay, so this Caligastia character, he's like our cosmic.
Yeah, you could say that.
Like a cosmic bad boy who just can't stay out of trouble.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
The Urantia book is saying that he saw an opportunity to kind of sabotage the whole operation.
So he was supposed to be helping...
He was supposed to be helping guide humanity's progress.
But instead, he was like, you know what, I'm going
to stir the pot a little bit.
I'm going to mess this up.
Yeah. He wanted to throw a wrench in the works.
So how do you even begin to sabotage something like this?
Right.
I mean, did he, like, swap out the blueprints for the garden with IKEA instructions? Like, how do you mess up a utopia?
It was more cunning than that. The Urantia book indicates that he used his influence to deceive Adam and Eve.
Okay.
Leading them to violate their mission guidelines.
So it was more of like a... I don't want to say like a trick.
But like a trick.
It was like he tricked them.
You tricked them.
Into breaking the rules.
Yeah, basically he got them to break their agreement, their covenant with the higher beings who put them in charge.
Oh, that's a serious no-no.
Yeah, you don't want to break those cosmic contracts.
No, there are consequences.
Major consequences.
Okay, so what happened? What were the immediate consequences?
Well, Adam and Eve, now compromised.
Okay.
Their authority kind of shot.
Yeah.
They weren't really able to fulfill their mission the way they wanted.
Right.
That whole idea of the 6 races integrating, that kind of went out the window.
So the perfect plan.
Yeah. The perfect blend.
The violet race, that was...
It didn't really pan out.
Okay, so it was like this major detour.
A cosmic detour.
Right, we went off-roading with the cosmic plan.
Yeah, we took a hard left turn.
But we're still here, we're still evolving. Humanity is still,
We're resilient.
we are. So how did things progress after this? Did Adam and Eve's presence, did it have any lasting impact?
That's a great question, and one that leads us to a deeper understanding of the Urantia book's perspective on free will, even on a cosmic scale.
Ooh, okay.
It's a fascinating concept, and one that we should definitely dive into.
Okay, so we've got this cosmic plan for humanity, and it kind of takes this wild turn with this whole rebellion and this fall from grace.
Yeah, it's not a straight line to enlightenment.
It's more like a roller coaster.
It is.
So where do we even go from here? I mean, if free will is such a big deal, even for these, super advanced beings, why even have a plan at all?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Urantia book necessarily has a clear-cut answer.
Okay.
It acknowledges that there's a lot of mystery in the universe that has both order and free will.
Okay.
But it seems to say that real growth, true evolution, comes from the choices we make.
Okay.
Even when those choices don't go as planned.
So it's not about sticking to some predetermined script.
No, not really.
It's more about
It's about the journey.
The journey, exactly.
Yeah.
And the lessons we learn along the way.
And the mistakes, too.
Even the mistakes, because, hey, we've all made a few.
Oh,
especially when you're talking about cosmic scales.
Cosmic mistakes are bound to happen.
Right, exactly.
But it's what we learn from them.
That's what matters.
Right. And I think the Urantia book reminds us that no matter how far off track we might feel, we still have that potential for growth, for love, for creating something better.
So it's not about waiting for a cosmic do-over.
No.
It's about
taking what we have and making the best of it.
Right, and recognizing that we actually have the power to shape our own destiny.
We're not just along for the ride.
No, we're not just passengers.
We're co-creators.
I like that, co-creators of our own destiny.
Of our own destiny. And I think that's a really empowering message.
It is empowering.
Because it means that even though things might look messy right now, we have the ability to change course.
To learn and to grow.
Exactly.
And to create something better.
That's the Urantia book's message of hope.
And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our very dense but very fascinating.
It was a journey.
It really was a deep dive into the Urantia book and its perspective on human origins.
And the future.
And the future of humanity.
So until next time, keep asking those big questions. Keep seeking out knowledge. And, as always,
keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.